This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. U.S. President Donald Trump heads for the Demilitarized Zone, dividing the two Koreas Sunday, and a possible impromptu summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Trump did not mention Kim when he took to Twitter early Sunday to say that his schedule for the day would include a speech to U.S. troops and a long-planned visit to the DMZ. The North's official KCNA news agency quoted Vice Foreign Minister Choi Son-hui as saying that Trump's offer was a very interesting suggestion, but that no official request had been received. Trump and Kim's first meeting in Singapore last year took place in a blaze of publicity and produced a vaguely worded pledge about denuclearization. A second meeting in Hanoi in February broke up without agreement. Earlier, at the G20 summit in Osaka, the United States and China agreed to restart stalled trade talks. As Reuters correspondent Lauren Anthony reports, the new truce offers some relief from a nearly year-long standoff.
President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping sat for talks on their ongoing friction on Saturday, where Washington agreed not to slap a fresh round of tariffs on exports from China. President Trump also added that U.S. companies can sell to Chinese tech giant Huawei, a firm that's become a target for authorities.
We send and we sell to Huawei a tremendous amount of product that goes into the various things that they make, and I said that that's okay, that we will keep selling that product.
Trump said although he won't be adding a fresh round of levies, he would not lift existing import tariffs. In a statement, China's foreign ministry said Xi told Trump he hoped the US could treat Chinese companies fairly. Talks between the two collapsed over a month ago after Washington accused Beijing of pulling back on reform pledges.
Reuters' Lauren Anthony. This is VOA News. President Donald Trump on Saturday vowed to appeal a U.S. judge's ruling that blocks his administration from using $2.5 billion in funds intended for anti-drug activities to build a wall along the border with Mexico. Trump has sought to build a wall along the border, but so far has proven unsuccessful at receiving congressional approval to do so. In February, the Trump administration declared a national emergency to reprogram nearly $7 billion in money that Congress had allocated for other purposes to build the wall. U.S. District Court Judge Haywood Gilliam in Oakland, California, said in a pair of decisions Friday that the Trump administration's proposal to transfer Defense Department funds intended for anti-drug activities was unlawful. Italian police arrested the captain of the Dutch-flagged Seawatch 3 vessel owned by a German charity Saturday after it docked in the port of Lampedusa without authorization. The vessel, still carrying 40 African migrants, had been at sea for more than 2 weeks. Sabina Castelfranco has more.
Carol Rackete, the 31-year-old German captain of the Sea-Watch 3, was arrested Saturday morning amid heavy police presence in the port of Lampedusa. She had entered the port without authorization and docked the vessel. Rackete said she had no choice but to enter the port because the situation of the migrants on board was very tense and she feared they would inflict self-harm. Italian authorities had refused to allow the vessel entry into Lampedusa since it rescued 53 migrants on an inflatable raft off the coast of Libya on June 12th. Malta had also refused port entry to the Sea-Watch 3. Sabina Castelfranco for VOA News, Rome.
Sudan's main opposition group says heavily armed security forces raided its offices and blocked a press conference on the eve of Sunday's protests against military rule. The Sudanese Professional Association had called for a news conference to unveil plans for the rally, but before the briefing could start, members of Sudan's powerful paramilitary Rapid Support Force came to the building and told organizers not to hold the press conference. Sudan's umbrella protest movement, the Alliance for Freedom and Change, has called for a 1 million-man march on Sunday in Khartoum and its twin city, Omdurman, against the ruling generals who have resisted calls to cede power to civilians. A deadly crackdown on a protest camp June 3rd left dozens dead and hundreds injured. At the Women's World Cup in France, the Netherlands defeated Italy 2-0 to reach the semifinals for the first time. The Dutch women will take on Sweden, which scored a 2-1 win over Germany. I'm David Byrd, VOA News.